Alright, it's about time we do a peekaboo. We're going to look at Deadpool Bad Blood, the hardcover, not the floppies from last year, the hardcover from 2017 that I worked on. I did a lot of pages in here, a lot of inks over Rob Liefeld, creator of Deadpool. Alright, it's got a copy of it right here. This was re-released in a floppy edition last year, right? Yeah. And then this year, obviously, Deadpool sequel Badder Blood has already started coming out. Last week, or about a week and a half ago, issue 1 came out, which also featured inks by yours truly, Shelby Robertson. My wife is mad. She's all, your name should be out here. I'm like, I concur. I did a lot of this. I did a lot of pages in here. Not the entire thing. It also featured inks by, who was it? Adelso Corona and Rob himself, and another inker, Murat Michaels. I believe did some figure inks for Rob too. He had mentioned to me. So, all right. So Deadpool Bad Blood. Boo boo boo. Got story by Rob. Script by Sims and Bowers. Penciler. Inkers. We got Rob himself. Me. Shelby Robertson. Adelso. Yeah. And Murat. Rom on colors, beautiful colors. This series, which it's a series now, but at the time it was only a prestige hardcover, right? Is that what they call it? So this was originally released as a hardcover, and so released in 2017. I started getting pages for this around 2016, I believe. I think it was 2016, and then through the year, we just get like, massive Dropbox drops of, layouts and pencils and whatnot for this. And at the same time, was working with Rob on Youngblood backup stories for the final Youngblood launch. What is it? I don't know. Round 4 over at Image Comics. So, and those were kind of scattered out. I think they came out through... I think it was like books 1, 2, 5, 8, something like that. It wasn't every month. And then some of the pages too for, I think it's his Brigade book. I haven't seen them in print, but someone had told me that some of those pages landed in there. So it's cool to hear. I'm glad it's in print. So appreciate that Rob thought of me for doing some ink work and stuff. Fun fact, I'm not an inker. I think he was seeing sketch covers or something that I was working on at the time. Probably just liked my approach to him. And, not gonna lie, I kind of come from a little bit of the school of Rob. I'd say even when I was working at Extreme, when, company Rob had started with Image Comics, I was probably about 15% Rob. I was probably 15% Rob, I don't know, 30% Platt, and then the rest, I would say, like Mark, some Silvestri. This was a great page to work. I still like the fact that I got to do some inks on a Warpath panel. I know it sounds goofy, but Warpath has always been my favorite New Mutant character. I actually really dug the way that Rob was illustrating him on the final 3 or 4 issues of New Mutants before he got his own X-Force series. I do remember this too. Rob got mad because I did a splatter effect here. I don't know if you can see it or not. Didn't really print it. I guess it did print. But anyways, I did a splatter effect here on his hand getting chopped off, and Rob said, "Don't do that again." He goes, "I don't like splatter." He doesn't like splatter on his work. So, yeah. But yeah, these pages were fun to work on. I have a weirdly similar line set that I use. I have a different anatomy, I think, that I use than Rob uses for his characters. There are some similarities, but as far as detailing is concerned, eerily similar. Because there was times when I was working on pages and my wife thought it was my work, and I'm like, no, I'm making Rob. And she's like, damn, that looks like your work. Like this page here, she thought. Because this is kind of the layout thing, structure I would do back then on some of the books I was working on. Yep. So yeah, this stuff again, it was fun to work on. Um, and man, these colors, every time you'd get a page, I was like, dude, these colors are freaking insane. Yeah, this is probably the most minimalist page I remember. Probably the most minimalist page that Rob had sent me. To the point where I even wasn't really sure what was going on with the helmet. So what I did was I cheated in Photoshop. I actually only inked up half the helmet here, and then I did a copy paste flip. So this is actually one illustration and a half, and I did the flip because I was a little concerned I wouldn't be able to make the helmet, the face symmetrical on him. Yeah, so I remember that. Other than that, it was all super easy breezy. Yeah, this stuff's cool. But yeah, Rob has a ton of fans. He definitely has energy to his work, and I told him, um, if you guys notice, lots of hands and feet in this, and I had actually mentioned that to him. I said, hey, like, are you? Because there's a joke that had gone around for decades at this point of Rob doesn't draw feet, right? Doesn't draw feet, and I had asked him, are you just trying to shut up the haters? Like, what's going on with this? And I remember him telling me, oh, you can't shut that up. He said, haters gonna hate. He said, no, it's just the way I draw now. And I was like, well, it's cool, man, because like they're drawn well, you know. Yeah, and this page here, I went a little off the grid here. A lot of this render, he didn't actually indicate this. I think this was actually supposed just to be black, and I would do things like that on these pages where I'd come in and I'd tighten up fades and add these crazy. You know what it was? I was looking at some of the stuff that Weems was doing on the Incredible Hulk books that Silvestri had penciled, and I like some of the stuff he was doing on the rocks and some of the musculature. He was doing some of this rendering in areas that should have been just a spot black, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna throw some of that in there as a non-inker. I'm just gonna do what I want, I guess. I'm a little bit of a hijacker when I ink stuff. I'll kind of do things that are not inferred. Yeah, this is one of the other ones here too. I did do a cut and paste job. So what I did was all of this and him on the back here is drawn in one panel, and then the Force Ghost Memory kids were drawn in their own panel here. So on this original, that's how it turned out. Rob didn't like the way that I had inked the kids. Remember that too. Something about one of I don't remember. It was one of them. He said I didn't do it right, so I had to do a trace over on one of them. Domino. Yeah, these pages were cool. Yeah, this was my favorite page of her that I got to. Actually, coming up, this is the first page he sent me. I know this is towards the end of the book. This is a 100-page graphic novel, by the way. This was the very first page he sent me, the first page that I did inks on, and so, yeah, I really, this is the most, we'll say top cow influenced, because I didn't really lean into Rob's style. I was leaning, and then this page was obvious. I think a week or two later, maybe a week later is when I got this one, and I was still kind of on that mark tip, So some of the stuff I was throwing in here. Was stuff he not necessarily. I think he kind of indicated for a small amount of it, and I just was like, flip, like just going off on it. So things like that, and on Deadpool's forehead, he was doing some of these renders, and I was really leaning into that. I just like detail, It's kind of my thing. Yeah, and there's another page here too, It's another one. Apologies to Rob. Yeah, I really leaned into the into the culo down here. Yeah, I really was emphasizing the cross hatching around the butts, because there was a lot of butts on some of these pages, Yeah. But yeah, this is actually cool. This right here, my favorite face in this entire book Kane's face right here. I love, I don't know why, I love this. This face right here specifically reminds me of um, really my favorite era of Rob. I would say it would be after he hired Platt, um, is when I was hired at Extreme as a 16-year-old. And he was, what was it? Team Youngblood 9? And then like up with the Spawn issues. What was it? The Youngblood issues. It was like 10, I think 10 through 12. Those were my favorite era, where you had like Bad Rock versus Black Rock, and you had the decapitations, and everything was just crazy, you know. Um, yeah, this was a fun one to ink right here too. One of these I had to shift. It wasn't this one because of the panel break. I do like this face shot a lot. This one. Okay, so yeah, it's funny because Rob had messaged me and said, "Hey, would you mind on this page shifting him?" I was already done with the page, and I had actually already shifted it on the original layout. He was shifted over. I would say his foot was about right here. Like it was shifted over about a good half-inch over where the gun was going off the page, and so I actually centered it. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. I'm pretty sure I was already done with the page. Just hadn't sent him the file yet. So yeah, but yeah, man, this stuff's cool. Yeah, if you're a fan of Rob, I definitely recommend. If you don't grab this hardcover book here, I would highly recommend you grab the complete miniseries of Deadpool Bad Blood Volume 1. Reason being, he actually added some pages and some splash pages to the re-release, and that just makes it cooler. It's almost like I don't know, it's more like a director cut, right? Yeah, that's another one my wife she had mentioned. She's like, "Why is your face not on here? You did something." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I don't know. I have zero answers. I just ink shit." Yeah, I don't think he has any of the pages. Yeah, because I don't know. Was this one omitted? I think this is just the inks. I'm pretty sure this page is in the book. Yep. So anyways, there's my little review. My patting myself on the back. Deadpool Bad Blood Volume 1, and then the Batter Blood series has begun in comic shops now. Get on Midtown, it's pretty easy to find. Batter Blood, issue number 1, and I did a handful of pages. I didn't do a page count. I did at least 8. There's at least 8 pages of the 20 or 24 that I had worked on. So go check that out. It's fun work, super kinetic as usual. Rob is definitely one of the most energetic artists in the industry. So thanks, guys.